Hi, my name's Sarah Merrin and I am an NLP trainer and timeline therapy trainer. And I want to talk to you about NLP and what exactly it is, because there's a lot of confusion about it out there. So NLP stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming. Now, neuro relates to the brain, linguistic obviously relates to language, and programming, just like you're familiar with any computer, relates to programming. So it might surprise you to know that 95% of the time you are living somebody else's life. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, 95% of your day, your unconscious mind is running your behavior. You are running programs that you have learned throughout your life. Now, many of those programs, and the most fundamental programs, were actually formed before you were 7 years old, which means that all the information and all the people that influenced you before the age of 7 have created those programs, and you've accepted them. They've fed you information, you accepted it with ease, without any resistance, and you created natural habits or programs. So in the same way that you learnt to walk by the time you were about 2, very few of us ever had to learn to walk again unless we had some kind of accident that impacted our motor function. So 95% of the day you are running these unconscious programs, and only about 5% of the day are you actually fully present and conscious. Now, that's a lot of time that you're running your unconscious programs. So what does it mean? What it means is, if there are areas in your life that you are having problems with or challenges with, or they aren't going quite how you want them to go, then that's because you are running programs that are inappropriate or mismatched to your conscious desires. So when we decide we want to do something, this is a conscious decision. And even if we have the awareness about what we want to do, how we want to do it, if we have something conflicting in our unconscious mind, and by the way, we don't even need to know what that is, but if we have something conflicting in our unconscious mind, then it prevents us from actually creating that. Now, we've grown up in a very linear world. We have trained the hell out of our left brain at school. We've made our left brain super, super smart. Unfortunately, for the majority of us, and especially if you've never done any work in this kind of field, we have not really developed a balance in our brain across our right and left brain hemispheres. And we have found ourselves in a place where we are somewhat imbalanced. And as more things get put into our environment, and you'll notice how fast the world has become in the last 20 odd years, the internet has speeded everything up. We're bombarded with data moment to moment, whether it's something through our mobile phone, whether it's something through our email, our computer, whether it's the news. We are literally bombarded with millions and millions of bits of information. Now, the way that we perceive that information is filtered through all of our programs. So we see what we are, and we see what we believe, and we see what we value. And we're actually unable to see beyond that until we do some work to expand our world. So, our thoughts are impacting our body every single day, because every thought that we have is energy. And our energy exists within this force field, as you might call it, that stands about 3 feet or maybe even more beyond our bodies. And our thoughts are constantly drawing from that field. So our environment's really important, the people around us are really important, our early years, our education have a major influence on who we are and what we're able to achieve. So what can we do about that? What if we want to make some changes? What if we want to find ourselves in a place that we're happy every day? Well, the good news is that we can. And the reason that NLP might be the start of one of the most important training journeys that you take is that it allows you to organize your mind. So we don't really care very much anymore about knowing. Anyone who spent years in therapy will know that you need to continue with therapy, because actually it prolongs painful situations, because the more we focus on it, the more we know or have knowledge about it, the more our brain is turned towards it, and we keep getting it. We keep getting that feedback from our field. So it's not that important to know what the real issues are consciously. What's important is that we create a brainwave state that allows us to make change, so that actually in our unconscious programming, we can reach out and find new patterns. Now, that reaching out process only takes about 3 days, and for the energy to actually go out, that thought energy to go out into the field and actually connect with new appropriate neurons that are floating around us. And this is scientifically proven, by the way, because now we can actually measure our brain activity without touching our head and without touching our brain. So our brains are incredibly powerful. What's even more interesting is that our hearts are 5,000 times more powerful, and when I say powerful, I mean energetic, than our brains. So, how is NLP so important? Well, if you are experiencing challenges, or if you have things that you would like to change in your life, if you'd like to transform yourself, if you'd like to feel more joyful, then this training program will allow you to organize your mind in a way that actually serves your direction, rather than 95% of the day running somebody else's life. Because that's effectively what we're doing until we consciously decide and then bring our unconscious up to speed. So once our brain, or our mind, as I should better put it, is organized, we can actually put ourselves in a state where we feel safe to experience our emotions in the now. And this is where the power is really at, our emotions, because our emotions can transcend time. They can transcend that sort of 3D concept of location and space and time. So this is an 8-day program, the NLP Practitioner Training. The NLP Master Practitioner Training is a longer 2-week program. And if you want to begin this journey, then all we ask is that you commit to the change. And we can guarantee you that by the end of those 8 days, you will have a much better idea of who you really are, what you really want, and you will have made some fundamental changes to your unconscious. This means that your unconscious processes will be supporting you more and more every day. And if you're trying to create something new, then it's going to set you on the path to do that with a very, very solid foundation. So you can decide. Over these 8 days, you may want to transform yourself. You may want to develop your skills to become a professional coach, or you may want to use coaching skills within your existing work. Whichever it is, whatever it is that you want to do, then know that this is a different approach. This is an approach where we balance your left and right brain hemispheres. We put you in a learning state, the kind that you had before you were 7, where you literally could take on information really, really rapidly. And by the end of the first 8-day program, you should be in a space where you feel more confident about being yourself, trusting your feelings, and actually being open to let go of fear and control so that you can feel your emotions in the now. If you'd like to find out more about my training, I run in the UK, I run in Sri Lanka, and I run in the Middle East. So there is a link below, please have a look, and I hope to meet you soon.